Today I'm gonna explain to you the Railey. The Railey is probably the first invert you want to learn. It is also known as Superman jump, and if you do it correctly, you fly in the air just like Superman. Like I said, the Railey is one of the basic inverts, so maybe we should clarify what an invert is first. Inverts are all tricks at wakeboarding where the board goes over your head. This is true for each flip like back roll or front flip, but also holds for Railey. Because if you do it correctly, your legs will be over your head at some point. Which tricks do you need to stick first? Because the Railey looks impressive, a lot of riders try to do it even though they didn't do the basic tricks like 180 to blind or even a frontside 180. It's not a mandatory prerequisite, but I would highly recommend doing the basic tricks first to get a better control of your board and a better feeling for the cable. The least thing you need to be able to do is to have a solid edge and know when the tension of the cable is the highest. You should try your first Raileys after the motor tower. After the motor tower, you have enough tension at the approach, in the air and at the landing. If you want to do the Railey to the outside, you can ride a normal curve, then ride to the inside for just a little bit so you can go below the running wire and then turn to your heel side edge. If you want to make the Railey to the inside, you can take a big curve and rather ride outside of the buoys. Then ride the curve and stay on your heel side edge. In both cases you should cut progressive. This means that you start cutting easily and then lean in more and more. It's enough to cut for about 3 to 5 meters before you release. You should get a feeling for when you're at the point with the highest tension and when you start to lose some if you're cutting further. Keep the handle close to your body while cutting, or at least try not to straighten your arms too much. So now comes the jump off. This is the most important part of the trick. It doesn't matter how good your approach is, if the jump off is bad, you simply can't get out of the water. Similarly, you can do a Railey with a good jump off despite not even cutting. The goal of the jump off is to set a block. This means that you have to try to hit the board perpendicular to the direction of travel to the water, so you can't get pulled straight from the cable. The 90 degrees is only a guideline and you won't reach it, but you can work that within your imagination. So when you're at your heel side edge, you need to kick your front foot a little bit backwards, but especially downwards into the water, like this. Once you set the block correctly, you will get dragged out of the water automatically. Try to keep your arms close to your body so that the full energy can be converted into height of your Railey. You will automatically get into a horizontal flight position. Let your board go over your head so you do a real invert. At the first Raileys, you want to try to get the board beneath your feet as soon as possible. For this to happen, pull down the handle to your feet. This way you will automatically get into a riding position again. Bend your knees at the landing. If you are rotating in the air, you should take care that your head stays straight. Most riders look at the board while cutting. This way your head will be skewed and this might result into a rotation in the air. I would recommend you looking up the line while cutting. This way your head will be straight. In general, this instruction is completely enough to do the trick and you shouldn't lose yourself too much in the details. The most important thing is still the block. To finish this off, I want to give you some tips if you can't get the block going. The problem of the block is mostly in your head. You feel how much power the cable has and intuitively don't complete the block just before getting dragged out of the water. The easiest way to overcome your fear is to practice the Railey at a small cable, so a system. If your cable has no system, then check the Trick Art app to find some systems around you. If this still didn't help you, you might try it at the lower speed. For this, the cable has to be empty and you need to ask your operator to set the speed of the cable to 25. Because you are slower, the board is lower in the water as well, and then you can make the block easier. The goal is here not to stick the Railey, but that you release a few times and then to get a feeling for this, to do this at 30. You can also practice with a wake skate and do the Railey with this. The skate will be stuck in the water and you fly like at the Railey. To get a feeling for the flying phase, you might also do some Railey starts with or without a board. A small disclaimer, so some riders find that these tricks are helpful while others lose themselves in it and never do the Railey at full speed with a wakeboard. So I would recommend to start the normal way as described first. So enough theory, now get out on the water and do this trick. And don't forget to log the trick in the Trick Art app once you've finished it.